My Lords, I'm delighted to see all of these amendments, and I do congratulate the Noble Lady, Lady Jones, and the Noble Lords Whitty and Kennedy for bringing them forward. I thought that the Noble Lady, Lady Hayman, gave an excellent introduction, and I just have one slight problem with it, and that is, while the current Mayor of London is doing a lot on air pollution, he is also building a road, which of course will negate virtually everything he's doing and has done. The Silvertown Tunnel should be stopped immediately, not another penny spent on it, and we all have to understand that building new roads is a mistake anywhere in the country, but especially here in London, when we should be concentrating on better, cleaner methods of transport. This is an issue, air pollution, that I've worked on since 2001, and the then Mayor at the time, Ken Livingstone, made a very good stab from a standing start at reducing air pollution, even though at the time it was just a sort of warning flag that we were about to break EU limits. And he did what he could in terms of the congestion charge, and of course encouraging cycling, even though he wasn't a cyclist himself. Sadly, as soon as the mayoralty was taken over by the current Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, things, I'm afraid, went a little bit skew-whiff, and he didn't really get the whole issue of air pollution, and that is a big problem. Because we know that if you don't have targets for reducing something, it's likely to not get done. And so if we're going to clean up our toxic air, this bill has to set binding targets. The sources of air pollution are widespread. It's industry, transport, buildings, agriculture. They're all major contributors. And we have to understand just how each of those can be cleaned up and improve, not just for all of us who breathe it in cities, but also for farmers who also experience a huge amount of pollution in their daily lives. And of course, air pollution has been found to cause death. After a coroner ruled it was the cause of death for Ella Kissy-Debrah. And I'd like to pay tribute to Ella's mother, Rosamond, who has campaigned and fought for so long, for so many years, to reach this verdict. Ella is the first person to ever have air pollution as a cause of death, and it's now official that Ella's painfully cruel death was unnecessary, preventable, and should never happen again to any child or adult. And if the Noble Lord the Minister is in any doubt about putting targets on air pollution into this bill, I urge him to meet Rosamond, who fought a fantastic campaign virtually on her own when she was suffering immeasurable grief from losing her eldest child. And I think he would be convinced, and he would take it back to ministry and insist that we get targets on air pollution into this bill. The coroner in Ella's case said that there is no safe level of particulate matter in air, and has recommended a reduction in the national pollution limits to bring them into line with World Health Organization guidelines, which is exactly what my Amendment 29 does. It hooks air pollution targets to the latest WHO guidelines and requires the targets to be updated as the science develops. And I believe this is the only safe way to proceed and the only way to be true to Ella's legacy, so that no more children will die from choking on toxic air.